20. Black actors who are gay. You won't believe. Then and Now, 2026. Part 2. What if everything you thought you knew about your favorite black stars was only half the truth? Behind the red carpets and blockbuster hits lie stories Hollywood never wanted you to hear. In this jaw-dropping sequel, Legends of Black Excellence reveals 20 black actors who shattered the silence and embraced their truth in a world that told them to hide. From secret battles to public breakthroughs, these stories will shock, inspire, and challenge everything you thought you knew about fame and identity. Don't miss a second, subscribe, and hit that bell to uncover the truth they tried to bury. Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, born on September 13, 1969 in New Orleans, Louisiana, stands as one of the most powerful figures in modern entertainment. As a filmmaker, playwright, actor, and studio owner, his influence has reshaped the American media landscape, especially for black creators. Perry gained mainstream fame through his creation of the character Medea, a tough-talking, pistol-packing grandmother who became a cultural phenomenon. Despite criticisms, the Medea films have grossed over $500 million at the box office, solidifying Perry's name as a commercial powerhouse. Beyond acting, Perry's work as a producer and writer has redefined independent black cinema. In 2019, he made history by becoming the first African American to own a major film studio without corporate backing, Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, spanning 330 acres. It's not only a testament to his business acumen, but also a space that provides opportunities to underrepresented talent in film and television. While Perry's professional success is undeniable, his personal life has long been the subject of public scrutiny, particularly regarding his sexual orientation. Much of the speculation stems from his portrayal of Medea and his close associations within LGBTQ+ circles. However, Perry has consistently chosen not to address the rumors publicly. He has emphasized that his sexuality is a private matter, and that public curiosity should never eclipse his work or humanitarian efforts. Instead of indulging the gossip, Perry has channeled his energy into philanthropy. He has donated millions to causes including disaster relief, education, homelessness, and racial justice. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he paid for groceries for senior citizens across Atlanta and New Orleans, and in 2020, he covered funeral expenses for Rayshard Brooks, a black man fatally shot by Atlanta police. Perry is also a father. He welcomed a son with model Jalila Bekele in 2014. Despite their separation, he has remained actively involved in his child's upbringing, underscoring his commitment to family and responsibility. Today, Tyler Perry's life is an emblem of self-made success and resilience. Whether or not he ever chooses to speak publicly about his identity, his work and his actions continue to uplift countless lives. His refusal to be boxed into labels speaks volumes, reminding us that true legacy isn't defined by rumor, but by purpose, passion, and perseverance. Michael K. Williams. Michael K. Williams, born November 22, 1966 in Brooklyn, New York, was a brilliant actor, renowned for his emotionally intense performances and deeply human portrayals. Best known for playing Omar Little on HBO's The Wire and Chalky White in Boardwalk Empire, Williams carved out a career by embodying characters who lived in the margins of society, bringing dignity and complexity to roles often steeped in violence, trauma, or struggle. Openly discussing his own battles, Williams became a voice for those grappling with identity addiction and mental health. Though he never made a definitive public declaration about his sexuality, Williams spoke openly about the confusion and exploration he experienced as a young man, often blurring the line between personal vulnerability and performance. His advocacy for LGBTQ+ youth and marginalized communities was always clear. He worked with organizations like the ACLU and the Innocence Project, and frequently used his platform to elevate stories often left untold. Williams also had an early background in dance and choreography, working with artists like Madonna and George Michael before transitioning to acting. His signature facial scar, received during a fight on his 25th birthday, ironically became the feature that got him noticed in Hollywood. He described acting as both a profession and a form of healing, and many of his roles mirrored his personal experiences with inner turmoil and redemption. Off-screen, he struggled with substance abuse and was remarkably candid about it in interviews, hoping his honesty might help others. Tragically, Michael K. Williams passed away in 2021 at the age of 54 from an accidental drug overdose, an event that sent shockwaves throughout the entertainment world. Though he is no longer with us, his legacy lives on, not just in his powerful performances, but also in his advocacy for truth, justice, and empathy. Williams wasn't just an actor. He was a storyteller with a mission to humanize the unheard. In a world still slow to embrace layered, openly queer black male identities, Michael K. Williams stands as a rare and remarkable exception who used his art to push boundaries, spark conversations, and encourage others to live with honesty and courage. Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Gibson, born December 30th, 1978 in Watts, California, rose from humble beginnings to become a celebrated singer, actor, and author. He entered the public eye as a model in a 1994 Coca-Cola commercial and quickly transitioned into music. His self-titled debut album went platinum with soulful tracks like Sweet Lady and lately establishing him as a major voice in early 2000s R&B. By the mid-2000s, Tyrese had also become a blockbuster film star appearing in franchises like Fast and Furious and Transformers. His on-screen charisma and physical presence made him a bankable Hollywood asset. But behind the fame, Gibson has always embraced emotional transparency, something that's drawn both admiration and speculation. Over the years, rumors have circulated questioning his sexuality, with some pointing to his expressive social media posts and public vulnerability as too emotional for traditional notions of black masculinity. Tyrese has firmly denied these rumors, expressing frustration over how expressions of sensitivity are often misinterpreted, especially for black men in the public eye. Instead of reacting with hostility, he leaned into authenticity, discussing his experiences with depression, his divorce, and his deep commitment to fatherhood. In 2021, Gibson became a vocal advocate for mental health within the black community, often speaking out on topics like toxic masculinity and emotional healing. He's authored 2 books, How to Get Out of Your Own Way and Monology, where he shares his perspectives on love, success, and manhood. These writings highlight his belief that growth comes from embracing every facet of oneself, even the painful parts. Despite personal and professional setbacks, Tyrese remains a strong presence in music and film. He continues to release albums, perform live, and expand his brand across entertainment platforms. Whether on stage, on screen, or in real life, he embodies a complex masculinity, one that embraces strength and vulnerability in equal measure. In a culture that often demands silence from black men, Tyrese speaks loudly not about labels, but about the right to feel deeply and love freely. His journey, while often misunderstood, is a testament to emotional truth and the evolving definitions of black male identity in today's world. Donnie McClurkin. Donnie McClurkin, born November 9, 1959 in Copiague, New York, is a Grammy Award-winning gospel singer-minister and influential voice in Christian music. Known for powerful worship anthems like Stand and We Fall Down, McClurkin has touched millions with his soulful voice and deep spiritual convictions. His albums have sold over 10 million copies worldwide, and his influence in gospel circles has earned him both critical acclaim and spiritual reverence. However, McClurkin's personal journey has often sparked public conversation, particularly concerning his sexual identity. As a child, he endured severe trauma, including sexual abuse, which he has said caused internal confusion about his sexuality. In interviews and his autobiography, McClurkin has openly acknowledged that he once engaged in same-sex relationships, but later renounced that lifestyle, attributing his shift to religious faith and healing. For many years, McClurkin declared that God had delivered him from homosexuality, a stance that drew sharp criticism from LGBTQ+ activists and Christian reformers alike. His statements, particularly those suggesting that being gay is something to be cured, ignited debates around conversion therapy and the harmful effects of religious pressure on identity. Despite the controversy, McClurkin has remained steadfast in his beliefs. He currently identifies as heterosexual and celibate, stating that his main focus is ministry and music. Yet he has also expressed regret over missed opportunities for intimacy and marriage, admitting in a 2021 interview that he may die alone. This vulnerable revelation reignited discussion about how religion and societal expectations shape personal fulfillment. While some view his stance as outdated, others see it as a complex narrative of faith and personal struggle. McClurkin continues to lead worship, perform globally, and host radio shows. His story, though divisive, offers insight into the complicated intersections of trauma, faith, and self-acceptance within the Black community. Donnie McClurkin remains a polarizing yet essential figure in the ongoing dialogue about sexuality and spiritual identity. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx, born Eric Marlon Bishop on December 13, 1967 in Terrell, Texas, is one of the most versatile entertainers of his generation. A singer, actor, comedian, and producer, Foxx has won both an Academy Award for Ray and a Grammy, cementing his place in the upper echelons of Hollywood royalty. With standout roles in films like Django Unchained, Collateral, and Just Mercy, Foxx has proven time and again that he can master any genre, from intense drama to laugh-out-loud comedy. Despite his fame, Jamie Foxx has maintained a fiercely private personal life, which has fueled persistent speculation about his sexuality for over 2 decades. Much of this speculation gained renewed attention after controversial comments from Suge Knight in 2024, who publicly insinuated that Foxx had a romantic relationship with fellow actor Tyron Turner. Both men swiftly denied the claims, reaffirming their long-standing friendship and professional collaboration. Foxx's romantic history includes high-profile women like Katie Holmes, with whom he reportedly shared a relationship for several years. However, Foxx has rarely addressed his relationships in public, choosing instead to deflect personal inquiries with humor or silence. His approach has left many guessing, but it has also highlighted the double standard applied to Black male celebrities who show emotional range or choose privacy over performance. Rather than clarify or deny rumors, Foxx has redirected focus toward his artistry and philanthropy. A passionate supporter of education and criminal justice reform, he frequently uses his platform to advocate for social issues. In 2023, he experienced a severe medical scare that took him out of the public eye temporarily, prompting widespread concern and appreciation for his legacy. Foxx's enigmatic public persona, equal parts charismatic and elusive, challenges the public's need to define celebrities by their personal lives. His career stands as proof that immense talent and lasting influence don't require total transparency. In a media culture obsessed with labeling, Jamie Foxx remains a mystery by design, one whose true identity lies in his unmatched ability to transform every role he touches. Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes, born March 7, 1964 in Portsmouth, Virginia, is a celebrated comedian, actress, and writer who has built a legacy on unapologetic humor and fearless social commentary. Known for her razor-sharp wit and trailblazing career, Sykes became a household name through her work on The Chris Rock Show, for which she won a Primetime Emmy in 1999. She later starred in popular shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Blackish, and The Upshaws, showcasing her versatility as both a comedic force and a sharp cultural critic. Sykes made headlines in 2008 when she publicly came out as a lesbian during a same-sex marriage rally in Las Vegas. At the time, she was 44 years old and newly married to her wife, Alex Niedbalski, a French woman she met on a ferry ride. That same year, the couple welcomed fraternal twins Olivia and Lucas, making Sykes one of the few openly gay Black women in Hollywood with a visible, supportive family structure. Her decision to come out was not only personal, it was political. Sykes used her platform to speak out against California's Proposition 8, a measure that sought to ban same-sex marriage. Since then, she has continued to champion LGBTQ+ rights, racial justice, and women's equality. Whether performing stand-up or writing scripts, her comedy often tackles issues of identity, privilege, and injustice with clarity and courage. Beyond entertainment, Sykes is also a vocal advocate for visibility and representation. Her openness about both her sexuality and her experiences as a black lesbian mother in a predominantly white heteronormative industry has inspired a generation of queer performers to live authentically. Now in her 60s, Sykes shows no signs of slowing down. She remains a mainstay on television and continues to tour nationally with her stand-up. Her presence challenges outdated notions about gender, race, and sexuality, and she does it all while making us laugh. Wanda Sykes has proven that truth, when delivered with conviction and wit, is not only powerful, but transformative. Marsai Martin. Marsai Martin, born August 14, 2004 in Plano, Texas, is one of Hollywood's most impressive young talents. Best known for her role as Diane Johnson on the hit ABC series, Blackish Marsai captivated audiences with her impeccable comedic timing and mature screen presence from the age of just 9. Her breakout moment came in 2019 when she became the youngest executive producer in Hollywood history with the feature film Little, which she also starred in alongside Regina Hall and Issa Rae. Despite her youth, Martin has already amassed a resume most seasoned actors would envy. She has won multiple NAACP Image Awards and was listed in Time's 100 Next in 2019. As the founder of Genius Productions, she continues to produce projects that center diverse stories, particularly those of young black girls, a demographic she has always wanted to empower through authentic and joyful storytelling. With rising fame, however, also comes unwanted speculation. In recent years, Marsai has faced online rumors questioning her sexual orientation. These speculations, fueled by vague social media commentary and unfounded blog posts, have led to public curiosity, even though she has never spoken about her private relationships. Rather than address the rumors directly, Marsai has taken a powerful stance, focusing on her work growth and advocacy. She has publicly voiced support for LGBTQ+ rights, often using her platforms to promote inclusivity, equality, and self-expression. Her commitment to allyship without compromising her personal boundaries reflects her maturity and understanding of fame's complexities. More importantly, Marsai has become a role model for Gen Z creatives, demonstrating that leadership, talent, and purpose know no age limit. She continues to develop films and series that challenge stereotypes and celebrate individuality, proving that representation behind the scenes is just as vital as on-screen visibility. Marsai Martin isn't just a rising star, she's a cultural architect in the making. By championing authenticity, she reminds young people that success doesn't require conformity and that power lies in staying true to yourself, even in a world obsessed with labels. Brandon Kyle Goodman. Brandon Kyle Goodman is a multi-talented actor, writer, and activist whose work has become emblematic of modern queer black identity. Born and raised in Queens, New York, Goodman grew up in a religious and traditional environment where queerness was rarely embraced. Despite these challenges, they boldly came out as gay, later embracing their non-binary identity and becoming a prominent voice for inclusion and social justice in the entertainment industry. Goodman gained widespread recognition as the voice of Walter the Hormone Monster in Netflix's hit animated series, Big Mouth. Their performance brought authentic queer representation to mainstream animation, while their behind-the-scenes contributions as a writer elevated the show's handling of gender identity and self-discovery. But Goodman's impact extends far beyond the screen. In 2022, they released a critically acclaimed memoir titled You Gotta Be You, in which they chronicled their personal journey through shame, rejection, and eventual self-love. With a raw and relatable voice, Goodman uses their social media platforms to speak candidly about race queerness and the intersection of both in America. Their videos and essays, often deeply personal, have resonated with millions. From discussing microaggressions in everyday life to advocating for queer black joy, Goodman challenges systems of oppression not through anger alone, but through emotional truth. They've also worked on television shows like Modern Love and Human Resources, continuing to break down barriers for black, non-binary, and queer creatives. In a media landscape where intersectional voices are still too rare, Goodman's presence represents progress and possibility, They frequently speak at universities and organizations, urging people to question societal norms and embrace every part of themselves. Brandon Kyle Goodman is more than a performer. They are a movement in motion. Through vulnerability, they teach strength. Through storytelling, they offer healing. In both art and activism, they show us what radical self-acceptance truly looks like. Colman Domingo. Colman Domingo, born April 28, 1969 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is a powerhouse of talent whose career spans stage, screen, and directing. With a commanding presence and unmistakable charisma, Domingo has emerged as one of the most respected and influential black actors of his generation, an openly gay man whose artistry has earned him accolades while reshaping representation in Hollywood. Domingo first found acclaim in theater, notably for his autobiographical one-man show, A Boy and His Soul, and his performance in The Scottsboro Boys, which earned him a Tony nomination. He seamlessly transitioned to film and television with memorable roles in Fear the Walking Dead and Euphoria, where his portrayal of Ali, a recovering addict and mentor to Zendaya's character, earned him critical praise and an Emmy nomination. As a writer and director, Domingo continues to expand his creative reach. He's currently working on a feature film about Nat King Cole, a project he has long dreamed of bringing to life. His commitment to telling rich, complex black stories, particularly those involving queer characters, underscores his dedication to representation that reflects real life. In his personal life, Colman has been in a committed relationship with his husband, Raul Domingo, since 2005. Their love story, sparked by a chance meeting at a Walgreens, has become an example of enduring queer love. They married in 2014 and have remained partners in both life and creative endeavors. Domingo's impact reaches beyond his performances. As a mentor, he advocates for emerging Black and LGBTQ+ artists, often using his platform to challenge systemic exclusion in the industry. He's also served on diversity panels and delivered keynote addresses at universities, speaking about the importance of living boldly and authentically. In every role he takes on, whether it's a tortured father figure or a historical icon, Colman Domingo brings soul, intellect, and bravery. He's not just an actor. He's a builder of bridges, breaking down stereotypes and paving new paths for those who follow. His career proves that being openly gay in Hollywood isn't a limitation. It's a testament to strength, artistry, and the power of truth. Karamo Brown. Karamo Brown, born on November 2, 1980 in Houston, Texas, made history in 2004 as the first openly gay black man to appear on reality television when he joined The Real World Philadelphia. His groundbreaking presence on the show opened doors for a new era of queer representation, and he's since become a powerful cultural figure, bridging conversations about identity, healing, and acceptance. Raised in a deeply religious and conservative household, Karamo came out at age 15. His coming-out journey was not easy, especially as a young black man facing societal and familial expectations. Despite these obstacles, he turned his experiences into opportunities for growth and advocacy. After his initial television fame, Karamo earned a degree in social work and spent years helping marginalized communities before returning to the spotlight. He re-entered pop culture as the culture expert on Netflix's reboot of Queer Eye, where he helps participants confront emotional wounds, reconnect with themselves, and embrace personal transformation. Unlike surface-level makeover shows, Karamo's segments focus on mental health, relationships, and self-worth. His compassionate, insightful approach has resonated deeply with viewers across backgrounds. Outside of television, Karamo is a successful author. His memoir, Karamo, My Story of Embracing Purpose, Healing, and Hope, reveals his personal struggles and triumphs, including the life-changing discovery in his 20s that he had a 10-year-old son. Today, he is a devoted father of 2 and an advocate for responsible parenting, especially among black men. In 2022, he launched Karamo, his own daytime talk show, blending real-life stories with empathy and empowerment. He's also the co-author of I Am Perfectly Designed, a children's book written with his son that promotes self-love and inclusion. Karamo Brown's journey from reality TV to daytime host, from activist to father, represents a full-circle evolution. He challenges the world to look beyond labels and leads by example in encouraging others to own their truth. In every space he enters, Karamo advocates not just for visibility but for dignity, healing, and authenticity. Daryl Stevens. Daryl Stevens, born March 7, 1974 in Pasadena, California, is a trailblazing actor, writer, and producer best known for his role as Noah Nicholson on Noah's Ark, the first television series to center on the lives of Black gay men. Premiering in 2005, the show became a cultural milestone and a safe space for queer Black audiences who had long been ignored by mainstream media. Stevens' portrayal of Noah, a sensitive, stylish screenwriter navigating love and identity, was groundbreaking. The role resonated deeply within the LGBTQ+ community, especially at a time when few positive representations of gay Black men existed on television. The series, which later spawned a movie, Jumping the Broom, helped Stevens become an icon of authenticity, vulnerability, and visibility. Raised in a family that valued education and creative expression, Stevens studied sociology and ethnic studies at UC Berkeley before fully committing to acting. His academic background is reflected in the nuanced, thoughtful characters he brings to life and the themes he explores in his writing. In 2011, he published Shortcomings, a novel that candidly addresses love insecurity and the challenges of queer identity. Beyond Noah's Ark, Stevens has appeared in numerous television series including Be Positive 20s and Lovecraft Country. His performances consistently challenge stereotypes about Black masculinity and queer identity, offering audiences a richer, more diverse lens through which to understand both. Stevens is also a vocal advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and has written essays, spoken on panels, and participated in activism focused on improving representation in Hollywood. He often highlights the double burden Black queer actors face, pushing for a more inclusive industry where sexuality isn't a limitation but a facet of authenticity. While Daryl Stevens may not chase the spotlight, his impact is undeniable. He has laid the groundwork for many who followed and remains committed to telling stories that reflect the full spectrum of Black queer life. With quiet strength and unwavering purpose, Stevens proves that representation matters and that being seen can change everything. Jared Carmichael. Jared Carmichael, born April 6, 1987 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, has emerged as one of the most fearless and introspective voices in comedy today. Known for his sharp intellect and calm, deliberate delivery, Carmichael rose to fame as the creator and star of The Carmichael Show, 2015 to 2017. A semi-autobiographical NBC sitcom praised for tackling complex issues like racism, religion, and sexuality with unflinching honesty. The show broke traditional sitcom molds, blending humor with social commentary, and earned Carmichael critical acclaim as both a writer and performer. Behind the scenes, Carmichael carried a deeply personal truth that he hadn't yet shared with the world. In 2022, during his HBO special Rothaniel, he publicly came out as gay for the first time, a moment that stunned viewers with its raw honesty. The special, filmed in an intimate setting, wasn't just a comedy routine. It was a confessional about secrecy, shame, and the emotional cost of hiding one's identity, especially within a conservative Black family. He admitted the revelation had strained his relationship with his mother, underscoring the painful intersection between sexuality and religion in many Black households. Unlike other comedians who rely on bravado, Carmichael's strength lies in his vulnerability. Rather than avoid tough topics, he embraces them, inviting audiences into uncomfortable but necessary conversations. He has spoken about the emotional weight of living a double life and the liberation that followed his public disclosure. Since coming out, Carmichael has continued to create thoughtful, unconventional work, often blurring the lines between documentary performance art and stand-up. His storytelling forces both industry insiders and audiences to reconsider the boundaries of comedy and truth. Jared Carmichael is not just a comedian, he is a cultural disruptor. By choosing authenticity over approval, he's reshaping what it means to be a queer Black man in entertainment. His journey proves that courage isn't loud, it's honest. Jaboukie Young White. Jaboukie Young White. Born July 24, 1994 in Chicago, Illinois, is a comedian, writer, and actor whose rise to fame has been marked by his razor-sharp wit and fearless approach to identity and politics. A proud black and queer voice. Jaboukie's brand of humor blends absurdity with truth-tackling race, sexuality, and internet culture with a perspective that is both fresh and deeply insightful. After starting out on Twitter, where his comedic tweets went viral, Jaboukie quickly became a stand-up sensation. He soon landed writing gigs on hit shows like Big Mouth and American Vandal, where his voice helped shape characters that reflected the complexities of youth identity and social pressure. His breakthrough came in 2018 when he joined The Daily Show as a correspondent, becoming one of the first openly gay black men in that role on national television. On The Daily Show, Jaboukie brought bold commentary and unexpected angles to serious issues, challenging outdated narratives with humor that often walked the line between satire and advocacy. His segments tackled police violence, queer identity, and cultural double standards with a mix of irony and activism. Jaboukie's influence extends to animation and film. He voiced Disney's first openly gay teenage lead character in Strange World 2022, a groundbreaking moment for queer representation in family media. With that role, he joined a small but growing group of creatives, redefining how LGBTQ+ characters appear in mainstream storytelling. Off-screen, Jaboukie has cultivated a devoted following for his candid takes on queerness, masculinity, and the absurdity of online culture. He's openly spoken about the challenges of being both black and gay in a world that still marginalizes both identities. Unlike others who soften their voice for wider appeal, Jaboukie leans into the discomfort, pushing audiences to confront the reality of intersectionality. In just a few years, Jaboukie Young White has become a voice of a new generation, unfiltered, unapologetic, and revolutionary. He's not just changing comedy, he's changing what comedy is allowed to be. Nathan Lee Graham. Nathan Lee Graham, born September 9, 1968 in St. Louis, Missouri, is a gifted actor, singer, and Broadway performer whose career has seamlessly blended glamour, comedy, and social advocacy. With a degree in theater and music from Webster University, Graham quickly emerged as a magnetic stage presence, captivating audiences with his charisma, vocal control, and impeccable comedic timing. Over the decades, he's brought elegance and eccentricity to every role, be it on stage, screen, or concert hall. Graham is perhaps best known for his scene-stealing role as Todd, the flamboyant assistant to Mugatu in the cult classic Zoolander 2001, as well as his performance in Sweet Home Alabama 2002. While these roles introduced him to a mainstream audience, it was in the theater that Graham's talents truly flourished. He starred in critically acclaimed productions like The Wild Party and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, showcasing his range as both a dramatic actor and a powerhouse vocalist. His contributions to the musical The Producers earned him a Grammy Award, solidifying his place among the elite in musical theater. As an openly gay black man in an industry historically resistant to queer visibility, especially for men of color, Graham has long used his platform to push for representation. He speaks candidly about the intersections of race, gender, and sexuality, advocating for LGBTQ+ performers who are often relegated to stereotypes or sidelined entirely. Offstage, Graham is a mentor and activist. He participates in diversity initiatives across the arts and frequently speaks at events centered on equity in entertainment. His visibility, paired with a dignified yet bold persona, makes him a vital figure for younger queer artists looking to carve out space in a competitive and often exclusionary industry. Nathan Lee Graham's legacy is one of elegance, authenticity, and resilience. With each performance, he challenges norms, redefines queer black identity in the arts, and continues to dazzle with talent that refuses to be overlooked. Kevin Aviance. Kevin Aviance, born June 22, 1968 in Richmond, Virginia, is a legendary drag artist, musician, and performer who helped define the vibrancy of New York's underground ballroom and club scene during the 1990s and early 2000s. As a member of the House of Aviance, one of the most respected houses in ballroom culture, Kevin quickly rose to prominence for his theatrical performances, gender-fluid expression, and fearless commitment to self-liberation. Moving to New York City in the early 90s, Aviance became a fixture at iconic clubs like Sound Factory and Limelight, where his shows blurred the lines between fashion performance art and protest. Known for his towering presence, avant-garde style, and unapologetic queerness, Aviance redefined what it meant to be a performer, breaking conventional molds with every step he took on stage. His musical impact was just as powerful. Hits like Cunty and Din Da Da became anthems in the LGBTQ+ community, especially in house and dance circles. His music was bold, provocative, and proudly queer, serving as a rallying cry for visibility and resistance. His influence stretched beyond nightlife. His work helped pave the way for later generations of drag and ballroom artists, including those featured on RuPaul's Drag Race and Pose. But Aviance's journey hasn't been without pain. In 2006, he survived a brutal hate crime that left him hospitalized. Instead of retreating, he returned to the stage stronger and louder, transforming his trauma into a symbol of endurance and empowerment. His recovery and return galvanized the community and spotlighted ongoing violence against queer people, particularly Black and Latinx, trans, and gender non-conforming individuals. Aviance remains a celebrated figure and continues to perform worldwide. In 2023, he was honored by Beyoncé, who sampled his voice on her Renaissance album, an acknowledgement of his enduring legacy in queer music and culture. Kevin Aviance's life is not just about performance, it's about revolution. Through fashion, music, and survival, he has embodied what it means to live freely and defiantly in the face of a world that tried to erase him. He is a warrior of expression and a legend who continues to inspire generations. Jeffrey Bowyer Chapman. Jeffrey Bowyer Chapman, born October 21, 1984 in Edmonton, Alberta. Canada is an actor, model, and television personality known for using his platform to spotlight the complexities of being both Black and gay in a predominantly white entertainment industry. Raised in a small, conservative town by an adoptive white family, Bowyer Chapman faced a unique blend of racial and sexual identity challenges from an early age. These experiences shaped his advocacy and grounded his work in a mission for authentic representation. He rose to fame with his role as Jay on the drama series Unreal, 2015-2018, where he played a gay reality television producer, a role that mirrored his own experience as a queer man in the media. The part earned him widespread praise for portraying a character that wasn't defined by stereotypes, but by depth, wit, and emotional nuance. In 2020, Bowyer Chapman joined Canada's Drag Race as a judge, becoming one of the few openly gay Black men in such a visible role on television. While his participation was groundbreaking, it was also met with harsh criticism and online abuse, much of it rooted in racism and homophobia. Rather than retreat, he spoke candidly about the emotional toll this experience had on him and the urgent need for safer, more inclusive spaces in entertainment. Beyond acting, Bowyer Chapman is a fierce advocate for LGBTQ+ youth racial equality and mental health awareness. His openness about therapy, healing from trauma, and building confidence serves as an inspiration for those struggling to reconcile their identities. As a proud gay Black man in a field where both aspects of identity are often marginalized, Jeffrey Bowyer Chapman has remained steadfast in his commitment to truth and self-love. His journey from isolation to visibility represents not just personal resilience, but a larger movement toward embracing all facets of who we are. Jeremy Pope. Jeremy Pope, born July 9, 1992 in Orlando, Florida, has rapidly become one of the most respected young talents in entertainment. A singer and actor of extraordinary range, Pope made history in 2019 when he became only the sixth person ever to earn 2 Tony Award nominations in the same year, one for his role in Choir Boy, and another for his work in the musical Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations. But Pope's talents extend far beyond the stage. His breakout television performance as Archie Coleman in Netflix's Hollywood 2020 introduced him to a global audience. Portraying a black, openly gay screenwriter navigating the racism and homophobia of 1940s Tinseltown, Pope delivered a performance that was both heartbreaking and revolutionary. The role earned him a Golden Globe nomination and established him as a major force in Hollywood. As an openly gay man, Pope has been refreshingly candid about the challenges of being a queer black actor in a system that often pigeonholes performers. He's spoken openly about turning down roles that felt inauthentic or exploitative, insisting that his work reflect dignity and truth. Rather than conform to expectations, Pope has carved his own lane, choosing complex, layered characters that defy cliché. Off-screen, he advocates for LGBTQ+ visibility and inclusivity in the arts. He frequently discusses the pressures of masculinity, the need for mental health support, and the importance of telling black queer stories from a place of love, not trauma alone. Also a gifted musician, Pope blends soul gospel and R&B in his original music, channeling the same emotional depth he brings to acting. His performances, whether on Broadway or in front of the camera, pulse with sincerity and purpose. Jeremy Pope represents a new generation of black entertainers who refuse to compromise who they are. His rise is not only a story of talent, it's a blueprint for how to thrive while living fully and truthfully. In an industry still catching up to inclusion, Pope is already setting the standard. Tika Sumpter. Tika Sumpter, born Euphemia. Latika Sumpter, on June 20th, 1980 in Queens, New York, is a talented actress, producer, and advocate who has become a respected figure in both mainstream film and television. From her early beginnings as a model and host on Best Friends Date on Nickelodeon, to her breakout role as Candace Young in Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots, Sumpter has consistently demonstrated range, intelligence, and resilience throughout her career. Sumpter's filmography spans across various genres, with standout performances in Ride Along opposite Kevin Hart and Ice Cube Sparkle, alongside Jordan Sparks and Whitney Houston, and her critically acclaimed portrayal of a young Michelle Obama in South Side with You, 2016, a film she also co-produced. That role, which required her to humanize a historical icon in her early career days, drew praise for its warmth and authenticity. Despite her rising fame, Tika Sumpter has remained notably private about her personal life. She faced significant media attention when she revealed in 2016 that she had given birth to a daughter, Ella Loren, with her co-star Nicholas James. Their interracial relationship, kept secret for a long time, sparked public conversation around privacy race and the pressures of visibility in Hollywood. The couple married in 2022. Over the years, Sumpter has also been the subject of rumors surrounding her sexual orientation. Speculation arose not from public statements, but from internet gossip and fan theories. However, Sumpter has never addressed or entertained these claims, choosing instead to let her work speak for itself. Her silence has been powerful not as avoidance but as assertion of autonomy in an industry that often demands access to every detail of a celebrity's life. A vocal advocate for women's empowerment, especially for black mothers in entertainment, Sumpter co-founded Sugarberry, a lifestyle brand focused on wellness, parenting, and career balance for modern moms of color. She uses her platform to uplift others, emphasizing emotional health, personal boundaries, and creative ownership. Tika Sumpter represents a blend of old-school elegance and modern agency. She's not only an accomplished performer, but a producer and storyteller committed to shifting the narrative for black women in Hollywood. In choosing discretion over spectacle and substance over gossip, she reminds the world that real power often moves quietly, but leaves a lasting impact. In a world where visibility often comes at the cost of scrutiny, these 20 black actors have shown us that authenticity is more powerful than approval. Their stories challenge outdated perceptions, redefine masculinity, and prove that being black and gay in Hollywood is not a contradiction, it's a revolution. At Legends of Black Excellence, we honor their courage, their truth, and their impact. But now we ask you, is Hollywood truly evolving, or is acceptance still conditional? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let the conversation begin, because the future of representation depends on what we demand today.